Thank you so much for joining us for Tech Talks today. I'm Jane Osler, and we're going to spend some time learning about mail merge. This is especially timely for sending out communications on behalf of the PPRP assessment. So if you're new to Tech Talks today, please say hello in the chat and tell us which EMSC state program you're with. We want to thank Braden for monitoring the chat for us today. So thank you so much, Braden. And let's go ahead and get started. Our monthly challenge, as you remember, was to practice downloading your EMS agency list from Tableau into an Excel spreadsheet. If you didn't get a chance to do that, that's fine. I will have Braden pop a link with instructions into the chat just a little bit later. And we're going to just kind of move forward to what mail merge is. Some of you may be familiar with this, some of you may not be familiar with this. But what it is, it's a free software feature from Microsoft that uses Excel and Word and Outlook to merge customizable information and send it via Outlook to individual recipients. So think about data that we're working with right now. An example in Excel, for example, would be your EMS agency list that you download from Tableau. And now I want you to think about messages we're going to be sending for PPRP, like a letter template that will come to you in Word. And finally, think about how we want to customize our email messages to send to our agencies in a very specific way from Outlook. So I'm going to demonstrate how we can use all three of these things to send the same information, but personalized to EMS agencies. You can see, how Excel plus Word plus Outlook equals customized information to different agencies. I am going to be using Windows 10 today, so please make sure you have the latest version that's available to you. And let's talk first about Excel. You are going to want to download your EMS agency list to be able to do this. And how you can do it is you can either link to it from Clems, from the EMS agency list drop-down menu, or you can log into Tableau and do it straight from there. You can find the instructions for downloading your EMS list to Excel by clicking on Explore, and then you click on Clems Lists, and then you'll choose the Clems EMS agency list for export, and then you'll find the tab that has the same name. It'll appear on the instructions. So I'm not going to go into too much detail with the export, as there are instructions available to you, and many of you already know how to do this. But Braden will put that link to the instructions in the chat for you, and you can practice doing that. So once your EMS agency list is downloaded into an Excel spreadsheet, you're going to want to add a filter across the top row. You want to have filters across all of the columns. And to do this, you simply just want to select row 1 and then click on the data tab. It's up at the top there, kind of highlighted in red. And then you're going to click on the funnel-shaped filter icon. This basically ensures that we don't mix up any of the information in the columns. So we want to keep everything accurate and straight there. And then we also recommend that you narrow down the data just to the fields that you need for mail merge. When you download yours from Tableau, you're going to have a lot more information on your spreadsheet to start out with. But as you can see from this demo version on the screen, you just need a few fields like EMS agency name, like contact name, contact email, just for the letter template that I'm going to show you in a few minutes here. So something else to remember is that once this spreadsheet is ready to go to your satisfaction, it'll need to be closed for the mail merge function to work. So close out of it before you begin mail merge. You want to make sure that you're closed out of that. So before I move on, are there any questions? Okay. In the coming weeks, the EDC will send you a package of information that will include 2024 PPRP assessment email invitation and reminder templates. These are going to be for EMS agencies and for fire rescue agencies. We right now are waiting to get the final sign-off that they've been approved. And as soon as they are, we will definitely send them to you right away. You'll receive all of the templates for the EDC-led or the state-led process based on which option you chose. So since all of the EMSE managers are being asked to send out the pre-notice in April and the supplemental reminder in June as part of the deployment strategy, I am going to demonstrate mail merge with those templates, and I'll use the EDC-led process first just for the sake of time. You might note that there are different letter templates for EMS agencies than there are for fire rescue agencies. This is because in the field test, we learned that a tailored approach to these agency types is really important for things like the subject line of an email and the language used in the letter itself. Great care has been taken to ensure we reach the target audience for optimal response. So just keep that in mind. With the letter templates will come a set of instructions for each template type. So what you see on your screen is just a portion of the instructions for the pre-notice templates for the EDC-led process. I'm going to go over this first and show you how it applies to the pre-notice letter template. You can see that, again, there are different instructions for EMS agencies on the left there. And on the far right column, you can see there are different instructions for fire rescue agencies. So let's take a closer look. The first column on the left describes areas of the template, and the blue and red columns show how those areas should be addressed in the template for EMS agencies or fire rescue agencies. So you can see in the first row under the headings that EMSC program managers will be sending out the pre-notice template for both EMS and fire rescue agencies. In the next row, you can see that for EMS agencies, you will only send the EMS pre-notice template to them and the fire rescue template to just fire rescue agencies. So moving one more down, you can see that we tested subject lines during the field test, and we discovered that that tailored approach I was talking about was important for each agency type. So look at how different these subject lines are. You can see for EMS agencies, for example, it says transform your agency's pediatric emergency care. And then for fire rescue, it says improve pediatric care at your fire rescue agency. Very different, but certainly a tailored approach. The secondary subject line is for email marketing services only, like Constant Contact or MailChimp. So if you're not using a secondary email marketing service, you don't have to worry about this line. But we have an area in brackets there, square brackets, that you can change if that's the case. So on the next row down, you can see the date the email is to be sent, and followed by that is going to be the time of day. And the time is really important that you send these. You want to catch people in the early hours of the day when they're most likely to be checking their email and still have time to respond. And not just respond, but maybe they have a chunk of time in the morning and they see the invitation with the link to the PPRP assessment. Maybe they want to take it right then and there, or see what it's about, or even just check out the website. So early hours of the day and local time are really important. So next is the customizable sections. They're shown highlighted by text prompts inside of square brackets. So you'll need to edit these before you send them either via mail merge or put them into an email marketing service application, or it'll look exactly like you see it here. I don't know how many times I've received an email where I've kind of maybe seen some of these things going on. Usually it's junk or spam or something like that. I'm like, they didn't fill out their template because I can see a highlighted text prompt there. So just be sure that those spaces on the template are completely edited first. So moving on to mail merge and email marketing merge fields. These are shown with a highlighted text prompt inside of carrots, and that's CARETS, not carrot like the rabbit carrot. These merge fields, I'm going to show you a little bit later, and how to link this field to specific fields in your EMS agency list a little bit later. So just as a recap, you have carrots, which are merge fields, and you have brackets, which are just complete edit fields that you're going to change before you mail merge. And then the final line that we have here is the template document name. You can see which letter templates you need to use for which agency. They're ever so slightly different, but those will also be sent to you. So before I move any further, do any of you have any questions about the templates? Okay. I'm going to pop out of the presentation in just a minute to demonstrate how all of this works with Outlook. But before I do, I want y'all to remember that you have access to your EDC TA liaison to support you with mail merge and throughout the entire PPRP data collection process. I can't tell you how excited we are to be on this journey with you, and we definitely want to help. So if you haven't made an appointment to check in with them before the PPRP launch on May 1st, we will be reaching out to you soon. So as additional support, I also wanted you to add this email address that you see on your screen here to your email contacts. This is our EMS PEDS Ready support email for you or for agencies if you have specific questions about the PPRP assessment before or during the data collection period. I'm going to have Braden pop that in the chat as well. And I'm actually going to go ahead and just exit out of the presentation here. Scroll down my fields here, and I'm going to kind of just demonstrate how this all works. Can you still see my screen? You should see a Tech Talks demo thing popping up. Braden, can you confirm that?
Say again?
Can you confirm that you can still see the File Explorer on my screen?
Yeah.
I'll make sure. Okay. Okay, super.
Thanks, Jane.
You bet. Thank you. So what you're looking at here is I'm just going to open up the template, and we're going to use the PPRP pre-notice manager EDC template here. I'm going to open this up first. I have this all saved on my desktop. Everything's closed out to begin. I'm going to pull it over here. If at any point while I'm kind of moving things around and I start talking, if you can't hear anything, please speak up and let me know if you can't see something correctly. So here's what the template looks like. First and foremost, you might notice, that it's got some highlighted areas. It's kind of in a table here, and it's in a table by design. The reason it's in a table is because we want to make sure that everything kind of looks seamless. We don't want images to move around. We want the formatting to stay consistent. And it does look like a formal letter template. So we do these things in tables. I'm just going to kind of come in here and show you the grid lines and what those would look like if I put the borders on. I'm going to pull out of this a little bit and show you a side-by-side view for multiple pages here. You can see this is what it looks like in the table format, but when you mail merge these, you're not going to see these lines. So you don't need to worry about seeing the lines. I just wanted you to note that we do this so that it maintains its look and appearance when we have this edited here. So let's look at the highlighted areas first. I'm going to go over here to contact name. And in contact name, you can see that these are inside of carets. Remember, carets and brackets. So carets indicate a merge field. This is going to connect to a field in the Excel spreadsheet that we have prepared. And you can see here that this is a bracket. This means I have to change this completely, including deleting the bracket, the highlighted area, and putting something else in its place. So down here, you can see we have another highlighted area in carets. This is agency name. That'll connect to the agency name field in our spreadsheet. You can also see this highlighted area here that has just some information that you could use. You might want to use it, you might not want to. Again, this is in brackets. You could delete this completely if it doesn't apply to you. And then down here, you can see that we have the signature line. So your state will change. These are all in brackets. These are not merged fields right here. You're going to want to go ahead and change all of these too. So let's just start and do that. And you're going to want to do brackets first. Brackets need to be taken care of before we merge any of the fields to begin with. So I'm just going to come to the first one that says state, and I'm going to put Utah. And then I'm going to find the next bracket in the document. And this area here doesn't really apply to me, so I'm just going to delete it completely. And then I'm going to come and scroll down here. We're all from the EMSC state program, or from the EMSC program. So that remains the same, but I'm going to change the state. And then I'm just going to quickly put in my name here. You'll probably hear me typing. Sorry about that. And then the job title. This is demo. I should put whatever title in there I'd like, right? Okay, so here's a phone number of sorts. And then my email address. Okay, now over here, you can also insert your state logo. I have my logo kind of saved on my desktop as well, and it's going to come in just big. I'm going to copy it from my program, and you may find this happens to you too, where your logo just takes over the entire document. That's okay. If this happens to you, just find the corners, select the logo, find the corners, and just kind of slowly bring it in. I love our logo, but it does not need to be the most prominent thing in this document right here. We want it to kind of match this area right here. There we go. So I just take my logo and we have that in the field. Remember, it's part of a template, it's part of a table. So it just kind of stays within this box area right here. All right, so let's look this over again. We've got everything changed. I take a second glance at it, make sure that it looks the way that I want it to. Make sure there aren't any more highlighted text prompts within square brackets that haven't been changed. And then we see that what we're left with is the merge fields with the carets on either side. So let's start with this first contact name. This is where mail merge starts. And again, I want to remind everybody that you need to make sure that your Excel spreadsheet is closed before you do this. So what we're going to do is we're going to come up here to the top of our menu bar and or our toolbar, and we're going to click on mailings. And with mail merge, you can mail merge envelopes, you can mail merge labels, you can mail merge a lot of things, but we're going to go to just start mail merge to the drop-down menu because it gives us the options that we are looking for. So we've got email messages right here. I'm just going to click on that. And with mail merge, you just want to move across the toolbar from left to right, and that makes it really easy. So to merge a field, what you're going to do is you're going to select it. And this is really important. You're going to want to make sure, I'm going to zoom a little bit on this. You're going to make sure that you select just right outside of the beginning caret and the end caret. You want to leave that comma there. Anything you select on either side of these is going to be merged with a field in Excel. So you want to keep the space between dear, you want to keep the comma after the name. Make sure you do it precisely so that there's not a problem. So now what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and go up to define this right here. So we've selected this. We're going to select recipients next. And we're going to use our existing list. And what that'll do is that will open up to your files. And mine's on my desktop. I know right where it is, so you're going to look for it. And I'm going to go to the EMS only data that I have.
Jane, 10 more minutes.
Sounds great. Thanks so much, Jane. And I'm going to select that sheet that opened up. I'm going to click on OK. And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to insert a merged field. So this right here, again, we have to select this first. I'm going to click insert a merged field. And remember down here, it says contact name. So I'm going to select contact name, and you can see that it kind of has these these parentheses are kind of like these shorter carets right here. You can see that's the merged field. So let's go through all of our merged fields. We just got 2 here. And we're going to select agency name as our next merged field. Again, we want to select it precisely. Insert merged field. And we're going to go to agency name, EMS agency name. That's the field that I want. You can see that once I clicked on that, it changes and you have kind of 2 carets on either side of it now. So once you've reviewed the rest of your document, it looks the way you want it to. You're going to go ahead and you can preview the results. So you click on preview results in the toolbar up here, and you can see that in the merged fields, it says Andrea Genovese. And down here, the EMS agency name is Centerville EMS. So let's watch the name right here for just a second while I come up here to these arrows, and you can scroll through and see that the names have changed. So watch dear Andrea Genovese, and you see Michael Ely now. I'm scrolling to preview for Jane Osler, for Jane Lowe, for Braden Green, for Patricia Schmuel. So I'm going to do this once more, kind of going backwards. If you want to come down here and look at this merge field for EMS agencies, I'm going to preview that field now. So changes to Northern EMS, to South Medical Rescue, to East Ambulance Service, West City Ambulance, Centerville EMS, etc. So you can look at that, you can preview that for your own purposes if you want to. And then when you're ready, you can click on Finish and Merge. And since we're emailing messages, we're going to send email messages. We're going to click from this drop-down menu right here. And in the To drop-down, we're going to merge that to another field. And we want to go and merge it to Contact Email, because it'll merge that with all the emails in your EMS agency contact list. Now for the subject line, you remember we had different subject lines, and for EMS, the subject line, you have to type it in, is transform your agency's pediatric emergency care. That was the subject line we used, and that was custom, that was tailored for EMS agencies. And then we're going to send all of the records. And when I click on OK, I want you to watch Dear Andrea Genovese. I want you to watch that name when I click on OK. It's going to take just a minute to connect that information in MailMerge, and you watch as the name changes as each email is sent. There's Jane Osler. And if you have lots and lots of names or lots and lots of agencies, this may take some time. So just be prepared. It may take some time to connect that way, but you can see all of these are kind of going through and being sent, personalized to each individual, the same information, but personalized specifically to them and their agency with this template, which is really great. So let's check it out. Let's see if it worked. I'm going to come over to my other screen here. And I'm going to pull it over so you can see it. Can you all see the Outlook message? And click on this first one. This is what the message looks like when it reached Patty Schmuel. You can see that I have my logo down here. You can see that the bracketed fields that I completed are still the same. Still have Utah, still have Patricia Schmuel. You still see Franklin County Emergency Services. This is a very personalized email template. This is what the agency receives. You can also double check and make sure that it is in your sent folder from Outlook. There's my calendar invitation, but let's make sure that it's in my sent folder from Outlook. You can see there it is in my sent folder. So if you ever question whether or not it actually got sent, you know it's right there. Are there any questions? I know that was a lot of demonstration, but are there any questions about the process or emerging fields? I want to give you guys some time to ask something. Braden, is there anything in the chat?
A little bit. So Renee asks, when you send emails through mail merge, do they show up in your sent folder?
Gotcha. Yes, absolutely. Do send up, they do show up in your sent folder.
Andrea
Like I
didn't
showed
reply to
you.
that, but yeah, I think it's useful to let everybody know.
Yeah, absolutely. And it's for me, that's peace of mind. I like to make sure that things get to the people that I want them to go to. So yes, you see the exact email that went to that person. So again, you're going to want to give yourself some time. If you have lots and lots of emails to mail merge at a time, you can also check with your organization's email settings to make sure you can send out that many in one day. Sometimes there might be restrictions. It's usually for super mass mailings, like 400 or 500, something like that. But just double check with your IT and make sure that that's going to work well for you.
I will say
Um,
that here at the University of Utah, our limit was 5,000. So it's
yeah,
one more question real quick from Jess Davis. She says, I'm guessing you can
sure.
send to multiple people if we have multiple contacts at each agency.
That's a great question. So there is kind of a workaround to CC that. Your TA can help you kind of work through that. I know Braden kind of taught us how to do that to CC an additional contact, but it does take some time. So reach out to your TA who happens to be me, unless Braden, you have a comment
Yeah.
for that.
So I would just say that you can also, if you wanted to add that second person as a line, like a separate contact line in your Excel sheet, then they would just be added to the mail merge like anybody else. It would just go to, they would get the same email that everybody got. You know what I mean? That would be another way
Hmm.
to send it to multiple contacts at each agency. You can't mail merge a CC. There's a workaround that Jane talked about that you can reach out to us about, but it's kind of a one-on-one sort of a
Hmm.
workaround. But
Yeah.
but you could add that secondary person as another line in your contact list, and then they would get one same as everybody else.
Yeah.
Right,
Absolutely.
Go
right.
ahead, Andrea.
This is Andre. It just occurred to me, because I've never tried it, but do you know, like, let's say it's email contact. If you have the one email address and you put semicolon, another one, you know, and you have the
Yeah,
spaces, do you know? Because I've never tried that. It just occurred to me now.
yeah, that's
That
a good
might be
question.
another option
I
that
would
you
have to
have to get the
play
one
around with
field.
that. Yeah.
Yeah, you can do a CC in mail merge or a BCC.
So through Excel,
I
excuse
had
me,
my,
through
I
like
was,
the Word mail merge, I have not found a clean way to CC other than kind of this workaround. But if Patty, if there is another one, then you can teach us and we can reach out and teach managers.
I was just gonna say real quick, make sure you practice this first, like Jane did.
Agreed.
I've always, if you don't, something will happen. Always practice it with a small group of people before you send it to 150 people, because you can't take back necessarily what you've sent. So just make sure you practice it.
One final quick question. Kelly in Arkansas asked if we've been provided the templates yet. No, you have not been, but they will be coming pretty shortly, within the next couple of weeks. We'll get all those templates to you, as well as some additional information and instructions and stuff about those.
Yeah, and I would like to add a little bit more to that. We have been waiting for the final sign off on those templates. So we are as anxious to send them to you as you are to receive them.
Yes.
And we hope it will be very soon. So we thank you for your patience.
Yeah. Thanks so much, you guys. We're just about out of time, but I wanted to mention that next month you're not going to want to miss Tech Talks. We are going to be talking about lessons learned from the administration of a national survey through our field test. And Andre and I are going to be presenting that. We'll have lots of great information about lessons learned. So join us for that. Our monthly challenge for next month will be to review any of our 2024 Tech Talks from our YouTube playlist. Braden will be putting that in the chat for you as well. All the Tech Talks from January through April are going to be focused solely on PPRP. So you'll want to check those out if you haven't seen them just yet. And if you have any ideas, again, for Tech Talks, things that we can help you with, by all means, you know where to reach me. Make sure, again, that you put that EMS Piece Ready support email in your contact list and reach out to your EDC TA. We're so excited and eager to help you. We look forward to seeing you all next time. Thanks for joining, everybody. Take care.